Good afternoon. Welcome to Dodgen Elementary's performance of Mice and Mozart. The students have been hard at work over the last little month, working on their songs and memorizing their words. Thank you so much for all your support in helping them and making this come to life. This afternoon, you will be ushered into the short life of Mozart, as told by the mice that lived in the walls of his home, concluding with a more modern song written in his honor. Please silence all cell phones and devices, sit back, relax, and enjoy the show.
In Salzburg, Austria, a long time ago, a genius was born. His name we all know, Wolfgang Mozart. This, to some, a brilliant musician who will soon become.
We have gathered together for an evening of fun to tell you this tale. Please pardon the pun.
But before we begin, we're sure you must wonder, who are these mice? Must be so to wonder. We're the lawfully descendants of each little mouse that lived in the woodwork of Mozart's old house.
They passed on the stories that now we must tell. So sit back, enjoy, and please listen well. Be quiet as mice, for now it is time to meet the dear Mozarts in music and rhyme.
I'm Papa Mozart. The name's Leopold. I'm proud to be head of this merry household. The finest students of music I've taught, I also play fiddle in the Archbishop's court.
And I am the mother named Anna Maria. Taking care of the family is my chosen career. Surrounded by music and those I adore. Now tell me, could anyone ask for much more?
Hello everyone, Nano is my name. Being Wolfgang's sister is my claim to fame. I also love music and never get bored. I spend hours playing my clavichord.
I'm the Mozart's canary, a little pet. I've been known to cheep out a mean minuet. As my dear friend Wolfgang would say, I do my best warbling in the key of A.
I'm their canine companion. The name's Spin Pearl. I fine-tune my growl to sound like a trill. When they hear me bark in my deep baritone, they all yell bravo and throw me a bone.
It's my musician friends. They've just come along to join me tonight for an evening of song. Herr Shackner and friends, so glad you could come. Now let's prepare for some...
Papa, oh please, Papa dear, I've written some music I want you to hear.
Come now, Mozart, don't be absurd. That's the silliest thing that I've ever heard.
Let's humor the child. I do think we should. My gracious, this music is really quite good.
It's a difficult piece. Now, how could that be? But that's why it's called a concerto, you see. It's practice and practice. If it takes day and night, learn every note till you get it right.
Marvelous work, a sight to behold.
And to think that my son's only 4 years old.
Your son is a genius. I hereby proclaim that someday the world will remember his name.
It's very clear to see that he is quite a genius, everyone.
It's very clear to see that we have quite a genius for a son.
Who would have thought it of a little lad who's only 4 years old?
He's writing melodies that someday all the whole world will behold. He's only 4, but we are sure his name will all adore. Someday his fame we will proclaim, the world will know his name.
It's very clear to see that he is quite a genius, everyone. It's very clear to see that they have quite a genius for a son. Who would have thought it of a little lad who's only 4 years old? He's writing melodies that someday all the whole world will behold. He's only 4, but we are sure his name will all adore. Someday his fame we will proclaim, the world will know his name.
I just spun up.
Help me. I think it's 5, 6, and 7. No.
Now, Papa Mozart was an enterprising man, and so he came up with a marvelous plan. His talented family soon left their abode, and with music in hand, took their show on the road.
And as they journeyed to far off places, little mice hid their instrument cases. Since their curiosity could not be ignored, a few even hid in Nandler's clavichord.
The Mozarts played at all the great courts and in all the great cities, entertaining the royals with their musical ditties. Their travels brought them to Vienna one day, where at the Empress's palace they play.
Maria Teresa, and I'm here to greet you with some of my children who'd like to meet you. Just one of their names you shall never forget, and that's my daughter Marie Antoinette. Now, my dear Mozart, we would truly love to witness this talent we've heard so much of.
Three
son and my daughter and me. Merry musicians are we.
Marvelous, marvelous. Now one mistake. Oh, Mother dear, can we let them have cake?
Dear Marie Antoinette, I cannot say no. Certainly off to the parlor you go.
Thank you, Mama. Did you hear what she said? I'm so excited I may lose my head. Can you get the back of my dress?
From Vienna to Paris, soon they would roam, where they played in many aristocrats' homes. Since old mice couldn't sneak in each house, these tales were passed down of word of mouth.
Amazingly, somehow young Wolfgang composed sonatas, cantatas, and oratorios. They called him the greatest protege ever seen when he played at the palace of King Louis XV. But rather than pay the Mozart family, the royalty just gave them trinkets, you see. A tiny gold watch, a brocaded sash, left the poor Mozarts wanting for cash.
On arriving in London, Great Aunt Minnie claims they were summoned to play at the court of St. James. Upon Wolfgang's going to the opera, one night he decided that operas were what he would write.
Though they all praised his genius, one thing seemed funny. The wealthy just wouldn't part with their money. In another land, the highest of honor that they made them, but trinkets and baubles were all that they paid them.
Yet trinkets and baubles are not what you need when there are so many mouths to feed.
Indeed!
So back home to Salzburg, no bread for their plate. They sadly return, bemoaning their fate.
This is our seat.
We've traveled cities to and fro. We play the palace everywhere we go. What do we ever have to show? Oh, nothing much, it's true. Bravo is what they always hear, but then they never pay them anywhere. They're poor as church mice now, it's clear. What are they going to do? They give us beads and trinkets too, banners and baubles, whoop-de-doo. Where's the money? We don't have a clue. What are we going to do? Why can't we spare a few? We take an IOU. What are we going to do?
In Salzburg, dear family, we must remain, in hopes that good fortune will gain.
noise they made to make music, or the efforts end meet with defeat. So with his fame and talents acclaimed, far from home, Papa and Wolfgang departed for Rome.
As they traveled through Italy on their grand concert tour, they were greeted with crowds cheering, "Encore, encore!" Did you really think they would let the mice? Did you really think the mice would let them go on their own, missing out on some nice provolone?
But just like the mice in Old Dickory Dock, our relatives hid in the traveling hawk. While dining in Rome, the mice had a ball, finding the city the grandest of all. So while in Rome they did as rodents do, and feasted on pasta and bowls of ragu.
Papa and Mozart found Italy a joy. There was so much to see for a growing young boy. From the cities of Italy they traveled with glee, from Verona to Venice and then Tuscany.
Between recitals and operas and concerts galore, Bologna was sandwiched right into their tour. It was here in Bologna that Wolfgang they test, put many nagging questions to rest.
As the head of the Philharmonic Society, I say we should give this boy a look-see.
His reputation has brought him great fame, but is he really as gifted as others proclaim?
The question is simple and well understood. Do our member composers think he's really that good?
In a room we shall lock him so we can be sure he can write 4-part music to our special score.
During his travels in Italy, the Italians did confer many honors to Wolfgang, including the Golden Spur. As a bearer of the Golden Spur, his future seemed bright, because now Mozart was considered a knight.
As everyone marveled at Wolfgang's success, there's something we mice must confess. As Wolfgang was writing his musical score, our relatives went on a pig-out galore.
They went out of town or behaved just like mice, got their fill of bologna and refreshed each slice, but they best laid plans of mice and men did not have a happy end.
Even though Wolfgang found Italy a blast, our relatives should not have eaten so fast. These plump, furry vermin who think with their belly got a bad tummy ache from too much vermicelli.
That was way quicker.
In the years that passed by, Mozart composed beautifully, but he remained poor as a church mouse, you see. From city to city, he wandered around, but a lofty position were not to be found. Through Augsburg, Munich, Mannheim, Paris, wealth and good fortune was not meant to be. Finally, in Vienna, he settled at last, hoping his problems were part of the past.
One happy event changed Wolfgang's life. Cosette Weber became Mozart's wife. He had once been in love with a talented sister, but she passed him up for a much richer mister. When the mice said they knew the cheers and the light, they danced and they sang and they partied all night. Some mice had a jubilation that they needed a mouse resuscitation.
Now Wolfgang tried teaching students each day, but soon found out that it just didn't pay. With unpaid bills and eviction letters, they were constantly running away from their debtors.
Symphonies, operas, concertos, duets, you think we'd be able to pay off our debts.
It's a classical fact known to all the poor folk. Seems musicians are destined to be Baroque.
It's a classic situation, one that fills me with frustration. Musicians always will be Baroque. It's a classic situation, one that fills him with frustration. Wherever he goes, one thing he knows, musicians always will be Baroque. They always say, what will you play me? But then they never want to pay me. They always say his music's pleasant. Why is he living like a peasant? It's a classic situation, one that fills him with frustration. Wherever I go, one thing I know, musicians always will be Baroque. It's plain to see and meant to be that classically speaking, I'm Baroque.
Go! Come on, guy!
And some have considered a hit, but his financial situation didn't change a bit. John Giovanni Fodro, Symphonies by the Score. This musical genius just want more and more.
But as the years that followed never brought wealth and took a terrible toll to his health, the magic flute and requiem sat note by note that were the last compositions that poor Mozart wrote.
Sickly and frail, he took to his bed. Alas, at age 35, our master was dead. Such talent he shared, such pleasure he gave, yet Mozart was buried in a pauper's grave.
Triumph and tragedy marked his short story, but his musical legacy lives on in glory. It's over 200 years since this master is gone, but his music, beautiful music, lives on and on.
Now, a musical tribute we'd like to propose to this great musician that all the world knows. All the great-grandchildren, each nephew and niece, except poor Dizzy forgot his mouthpiece, have formed the Mouster Singers, so we stand proud and tall to give a homage to Mozart, the greatest of all.
In 200 years, music has changed, so one of his pieces we have now rearranged. We hope his